What up, tater chips? Back on this turd. It's been long, long. It's been long time since video made. Me love you long time. It's been a while since I've made a video. We rode a motorcycle across the country and then tried to sell it, and it's been cold, and I don't really want to be out here in the cold because I'm a poo-nanner and I'm lazy. I bought a heater, which is, it sucks, but it's there, and whatever. I don't know. It's better than like nothing. It's like 50. It's probably a smooth like 38 degrees outside, 35, and it's like 50 in here. So it could be worse. Today I'm going to start sorting out my fuel system because this car is weird and I don't know what I'm supposed to do because everybody on the internet is wrong according to this car, or at least the like 1.5 posts I've seen are wrong. So I want to retain as much of it stock as possible because I'm cheap. So I got this 3/8 fittings -6 push lock. That's not gonna work. Also, F this braided push lock hose. Jesus Christ on a cracker. Have you ever messed with this? I don't have the vise, and this is garbage. It's not gonna work. I don't know. It'll probably work, but I don't trust it. I don't really want to burn the car down, even though it'd probably be good for everyone involved. If it did burn, I'd rather not die in a car fire if I can help it, or look like a moron at an autocross day or on the side of the interstate. So I'm just going to get regular push lock hose. I don't care. I can't find the black anywhere because of the Rona, so it'll probably be blue and I'll look like a goober, but it's fine. So the fuel rail on the Coyote is 3/8. This car is supposed to have a 3/8 line, and it's a 98, right? And they're, what I understand, they're a little bit of a oddball year for fuel. This has a quarter return and a 5/16 feed like a Fox. So I don't know what a 96 or 97 has, but the interwebs told me that this was 3/8, and she ain't, boys. You can just, it's like a hot dog in a hallway right there, son. So that ain't gonna fly. So I'm gonna have to order new lines, which complicates my Corvette fuel regulator shenanigan, because I was gonna run this thing. Also, only do wicks if you're doing these because the cheap ones leak right here. But this is, I'm pretty sure, 3/8 feed and 5/16 return. I was going to mount this one at the back of the car. So I don't know what the heck size fittings are on the tank. So I'm going to drop the tank out and probably get gasoline everywhere because it doesn't have a seal where it meets the filler neck. Because in the past I wasn't scared of dying in a car fire. So I'm going to fix that as well. But let me get this tank out and see what we got. And then I'll order some stuff, I reckon. Here we go. All right, fuel lines are disconnected. I've turned my light off. I apologize. I'm pretty sure it has a 5/16 feed and a quarter return back here as well. Tank straps are out. Wiring's disconnected. Fuel filler neck down there is all disconnected as well. Got a jack under here. Basically, once I start lowering this down, pandemonium is going to erupt. And I'm going to somehow end up consuming gasoline. And I really wish I had someone out here with me to help video this, because it's always a show, but I don't want to bother the wife with it. So, let me get this out and see what we got. Tank's out. Actually, it wasn't really that bad. I did not have a... There's no seal over here because... YOLO. I just thought I could fill it with RTV. PSA, you can't. There's only about a quarter of a tankish in this, so it wasn't too awfully bad. You just kind of shimmy it down with a foot and the jack on this side, kind of, and then slide it off the seal on the tube over there, and then it falls. But if it's not full, it doesn't really splash out of the filler neck, so that's nice. I'm gonna pop these connectors off here and verify what I think is the truth. I think this is 5/16 and this is a quarter. Although, man, that looks beefy there, boys. That looks beefy! Let me see. All right, moment of truth. Here's my 3/8 line. Ooh. That actually doesn't really go in there very well. So that's definitely... Well, this is just curious. 3/8, dude. Okay, so... Oh, that's in there. And then 5/16. Yep, so sweet. All right. So what I'm going to do... What am I going to do? Why is this a 3/8 feed on the tank and a 5/16 feed up the car? This is just the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Are they all like this? Am I crazy? Is this car like made on a Friday evening sometime? I don't know. Anyway, I've got a bunch of fittings in that box, I think, for this guy. So what I'm going to do, this is going to mount up in there where the other one was, in the car, and I'm going to run... Let me just get all the fittings. I'll be right back. I don't have all of them. Let me get the ones I have. Let me get a small portion of information that I can glean to you readily available. Yeah, so this side with all the adapters and crap on it, trying to use the stock fuel line, as you can see, it makes it like 3-4 inches longer. It wasn't going to work. I was just putting everything in too much of a bind in the car. So I just went ahead and made another little -6 line to plug in here. It's 3/8 with a -6 female to male push lock fitting. Clamps again. Same over here on your feed side, 3/8 -6 -6. Each of these fittings is about $10, $9 on Amazon or something. They're just Edelbrock and various whatever else I could find. Most of them are Edelbrock though. So, you know, it's about a $40 fuel line I had to make there. So all in all, these two lines and the fittings, I think this was about 30 bucks. This is a Wix Corvette fuel pressure regulator. Highly recommend the Wix ones. Oh, I need to plug my ground strap back up. Whoops. The other ones tend to leak right here. I've had a couple that didn't work. So yeah, I mean, that's what I got here. Like 80 bucks in lines-ish. What did I say? 30? So we're 110, 120, 130, 140 bucks basically for this end of the fuel system. So that's not too bad. And if I was a thinking man, I would have bought a 90 for this like I did this, and that'd have been really pretty, but as you know by now, I'm not. So let me put this in the car, see if I can't get gas everywhere and want to kill myself. So I figured I'd take a break from Randy Travis for a second to show you what I'm doing here and how I do this. Everybody's always asking, how do you put the gas tanks in these cars? They're so hard. They are, but it's not that big a deal. On the driver's side, what I do is get this up in here like this, kind of, and just manhandle it. Get your filler neck in that side, right? Put a little bit of grease around that new seal so she slides in nice and easy. Kind of push the tank that way as it comes up, and then just jiggle her around and line her up and see. And then take this strap that hinges. There goes my bolt. Shoot. Get her up here and roughly lined up or so, and you can push that tab in once you get her to about the right spot and just bang that bad boy home with an impact. Don't be scared. And then you're pretty much home free. That one's a little harder to get in sometimes, but you know, and once you get that in, make sure you got all your lines and stuff out of the way of the tank and you're not pinching nothing up there. And your connectors back here for your plug are free and jiggling around. And yeah, there you go. All right, on the passenger side, got this tank strap in. Like I said, it's a little more hard, but really just, you know, manhandle it with this hand and bang it on with this one with the impact. You know, just run her in. It'll be fine. So here's my furrow lines and PSA, little recommendation for all you ding-a-lings. Let me get you up in there. I made my return line a wee short here, and it's making this kind of bind. It's not the end of the world. It's gonna work. but it's gonna be a little snug. And so I'm gonna just set this right in the spot where the stock one was. I'm gonna bend this tab right here back. Take this guy and just flat. Set the fuel filter right in here. It won't snap in like the stock one does because of all this adapterage we got going on. Oh, there's some fur oil dripping on my fingers. It's gonna get my eye. So I'm just gonna get a steel hose clamp and hose clamp that filter right about where this thing is, so that it makes a connection with the ground and is secure. And yeah, man, I should have made that turn line about, oh man, just a wee longer. That'd make this a little easier, but oh well, live and learn. Now you guys don't have to do the same thing I did. Also, if you're working on a nice car, you know, you might want to put a rag on your jack or something. I've had the gas tank out of this one a few times, and you know, it's not a nice car, so I don't care, but just be mindful of that. Yeah, don't do that either. So I've got to re-drop the tank. Whoops. So there you go, hose clamp. I just went and bought a bunch of hose clamps, and I've never used a new hose clamp in my life. And man, let me tell you, I started out with that piece of crap because I didn't think the one I bought was big enough. That one's way too big, and I about had to cut it off. But man, this one, you can start them with your fingers, and they're just, it's amazing. So yeah, this is here. This line isn't too tight, so it should be fine. This one's a little dilly-dangly. I think I'm gonna give her a little zip tie action, you know, probably like that or something. Well, you can't see, but I'll zip tie it. I hope that this isn't in too much of a bind. I tried to like line it up so that this fitting is like in a perfect line and nothing's like binding or like at an angle, you know, jammed in there so it'll leak. So hopefully this won't leak. There's a lot of fittings here. I know a lot of people are running this setup, but I'm just scared of dying in a fire. So, you know, it's not gonna pass tech probably, but whatever, it'll work. I'm gonna hook the rest of this gas tank stuff up and we'll go from there. Got frustrated with the wiring, gonna come back to that. In the meantime, I'm gonna attempt to use the stock airbox. This thing's just too big and puts it at a weird angle. So I've done a little cutillations here, and let's just see if my plan works. Oh yeah, look at that. So now, we're gonna Dremel this bad boy down smooth, cut this bell off of it, and we'll pretty much have us a piece of PVC pipe with a mass airflow meter gauge in it. Not gauge, a port, whatever. It'll screw right in there. So let me get the tidying on this. It's too late now. And bam, there it is. So that's a nice little something easy that keeps me from spending another $100, $200 on a used intake. That'll sit in there about like that. I can just get some cone crap for this. And that's not a cold air intake anymore. That's a coal intake. Maybe a colo or a collie. Either way. Kind of puts the MAF down here in a stupid place, but I think it'd be all right. I could spin this to, you know, do something. I really tried to keep this side pretty though. Turned out all right. You know, it's ugly, but I'm not Picasso or nothing, so that'll work. By God.